Okay, well, welcome. We are so happy to have you here today. It's such a fantastic turnout, lots of people to celebrate. I am Tara Mizrahi. I am Vice President at Affirmative Investments, and we are the co-developers of the Feldman Seaside Apartments with Chelsea Jewish. We are so thankful for the support of everyone in this room today, and many other people who could not be here. We'll talk about all the supporters that have gotten us here today. So we're going to start with those thanks, and on behalf of our co-partners, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, which is Gilda Richmond. She's the current chair of the Chelsea Jewish Foundation. She has served the foundation for 25 years as their president and now board chair, and she has been a central figure in all of their endeavors, including this one. So I'll hand it over to Gilda.
After 25 years, I have to use glasses. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is a great pleasure that I stand here before you once again with this newest project here in Winthrop. In 25 years that I have been affiliated with the Chelsea Jewish Nursing Home Foundation, I am very proud of all of our endeavors. And who would ever have thought that we would see it grow from a single nursing home in Chelsea to a foundation as big as we are today. Our CEO, Barry Berman, and President Adam Berman, we have achieved a comprehensive healthcare group which will allow our seniors the opportunity to avail themselves to whatever care they need. I would like to thank the founders as well as the Feldmans from all of us here today for the grand opening of a 40 affordable senior housing units, the Feldman Seaside Apartments. In April 2013, Mr. Berman and I visited Jerry and Judy Feldman at their home to present our future vision of Winthrop. We were hoping that when we left their home, they would be as excited about this project as we were. As usual, Jerry and Judy gave us the vote of confidence we needed to pursue this dream. Through the generosity of this amazing couple, we have accomplished many projects throughout our organization. Their tireless dedication to our facilities has helped us become one of the best healthcare organizations of the North Shore. Jerry and Judy, words cannot express our sincere gratitude, not only for your generosity, but for your kind, caring, and supportive friendship. Thank you all for supporting the Chelsea Jewish Foundation, and thank you again.
So as Gilda mentioned, Jerry and his wife Judy have been long contributors and benefactors to Chelsea Jewish Foundation. They're helping to serve the frail elderly and all of their innovative projects as they move forward. So to show appreciation for their longtime support, they did name the building that we're going to see after here, the Feldman Seaside Apartments. So we're glad to introduce Mr. Feldman.
Thank you. In 1998, excuse me, I have a cold, as you'll be able to tell. In 1998, my in-laws, Rose and Ed Rosenthal, moved into the Chelsea, the Cohen Florence Levine Estates in Chelsea, and they, during the years that they were there, we got to know Barry and Leona Grell and Gilda Richmond. And every year, Judy and I would come to Chelsea, and we'd have lunch in Barry's dining room, and the lunches were pretty good. And so we're very honored for this honor that you're giving us. And I don't have much else to say, except in 1983, my friend Donald Aronson died. And he used to say to me that if anybody were to ever honor me, they would be able to hold the event in a phone booth. Donald, you were wrong. There are no more phone booths. Thank you.
So next up, we are very pleased to have Winthrop's own Speaker of the House, Robert DeLeo. He will speak to us next. As most of you know, the Speaker has been, or Mr. DeLeo has been the Speaker since 2009. But most of you probably don't know is that he, before that, served at Winthrop's Town Council for 10 years. So that's kind of fun news. And he still lives in the house he grew up in, which is really close to here. So he's been a strong voice for his constituents since the beginning. And not only has Speaker DeLeo been a strong supporter, I would say all of the people in his office, whenever we've needed them, have been incredibly supportful and on the ball about the entire planning process, Conservation Commission process, and have done nothing but do good things for us. So we're very happy for the support and to have him here today.
Thank you so much, Tara, thank you for those kind words, and for the also thank you to the folks at Affirmative Investments as well. Before I begin my brief comments, I also want to congratulate my good friend Anthony Petroselli on his appointment yesterday to Senate leadership. Congratulations. Very well deserved. I believe that this complex and the views are beautiful, and I was told that your strategy in finding underutilized land on which to build a senior housing could serve as a national model. That's certainly something that we can all be proud of here in our community. I find today's ribbon cutting extraordinarily moving. In being here, I can't help but remember so many of my friends and supporters over the years who formed such a strong part of this community. I sometimes have memories of, I don't know many folks, Doc Clayman, who I hear from once in a while. He's now, believe it or not, down in the mayor of one of the cities in Florida, by the way. And Doc would have me come here as part of the bingo to say hi to the folks, and there was a rule that you had to be outside, but Doc would take me inside. And I'd say, Doc, how can you do that? Well, we're seeing people, but when you and I are just talking, if they walk by and I say, hello, vote for Bob DeLeo, I happen to say that. But those are some of my memories. And the Sunday morning breakfast and whatnot, and the friends and whatnot that I made in this temple are truly remarkable. But I want to, first of all, commend the folks at the Temple Tifereth Israel who made the brave but wise decision to preserve their community by opting to share it. This paves the way for the next chapter of Jewish life in Winthrop. Many of my Jewish friends often refer to the saying, from generation to generation. Truly, this development represents the relationship between members of different generations. So to say I am pleased to be here at the opening of the Feldman Seaside Apartments is an understatement, to say the least. I'd like to thank the Feldman Charitable Foundation and the Chelsea Jewish Foundation for their incredible generosity and foresight in seeing the construction of these apartments. Since my time as a town meeting member, a member of the Board of Selectmen, and now a Speaker of the House, elder affairs has always been one of my top priorities. Whether from my grandparents' experience in East Boston, who grew older surrounded by family and friends, or through the friendships I've made at the town's senior center, the DeLeo Senior Center, I know how important, right, Nancy? Thank you very much. Nice to see you here. I know how important community and independence are as we age. The Feldman Seaside Apartments were built with these tenets in mind. That's why I supported this development since its inception. I was also pleased to learn that the residents here will have access to support services provided by the Chelsea Jewish Foundation, helping them to take control of their well-being and their health. Today's opening will mark a new beginning for many individuals and families. Everyone here has had a role in building a better future for Winthrop in our community. I sincerely want to thank you for whatever part that you may have played in today's groundbreaking, and thank you so much for having me here today. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Speaker. Next, we have Senator Anthony Petrocelli, our state senator, who's been state senator since July of 2007, and prior to that was in the State House since 1999 in the House of Representatives. He currently serves as the Senate Chair on Joint Committee of Financial Services. He was born in East Boston and is currently still living there with his family. And we often see him at many of these exciting events, which means this is just added on to one more thing that he supported in continuance of community development, affordable housing, and seniors. So we're pleased to have him here today.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here. I first want to say thank you to the Speaker for those kind words. And, you know, the Speaker is always very humble about what his role is, and I always like to be able to take that opportunity in district to let folks know he has a statewide responsibility as the Speaker, and he never forgets where he comes from. He never forgets the people that he represents, first and foremost, here in the town of Winthrop. And I want to say thank you for the job that you do, Mr. Speaker. This is great news. It's great news for the town. Not necessarily because of the development opening today, but because I'm not a member of the golf course the past 2 years. And the third tee is right across the street, and I have a snap hook every once in a while that would come right in this direction and probably end up in someone's living room and kitchen. So it's extra great news for the owners and for the future tenants of the building that I'm on a leave of absence because my kids are just very active now at 9 and 6. So, but someday I'll be back, just as a full disclosure, I'll be back at the golf course. But congratulations to Chelsea Jewish Foundation, Affirmative Investments. This is a great day for the town to be able to have 37 or 40 affordable units for seniors to have an opportunity to have quality housing. We shared in a celebration as well not too long ago at the Dalrymple School, and Tom Gleason was a partner in that project as well. I want to say thank you to Tom and Mass Housing for your partnership in this project to be able to keep people in this area and in this town living where they know all the people they grew up with, and so it's wonderful. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Speaker, and you'll be happy to know, Speaker, as well as probably more the residents and the funders, that we were smart enough to think about the people who are golfing and don't have the best shot, and we put more protective glass on that side of the building. So next, we are going to have Tom Gleason, who's the Executive Director of Mass Housing, speak. His organization has been a consistent and strong partner in affordable housing in Massachusetts. Excuse me. Massachusetts, Mass Housing provided a significant amount of funding to this project through the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. And since its inception, Mass Housing has provided more than $17 billion towards affordable housing, of which Tom Gleason has deployed $10 billion of that. So it's quite an accomplishment, and we're very pleased to have him here today.
That $10 billion was not my personal money, but I'm proud to lead an agency that's so truly engaged in affordable housing. So days like today are really marked by 3 words for me: congratulations and thanks and hope. So congratulations obviously go to the people that were so instrumental in putting this together, to the members of the Temple, to the officials in the town of Winthrop and the residents of Winthrop, and to the great development team that came together here, Affirmative Investments and the Chelsea Jewish Foundation, to provide affordable housing for the people of Winthrop. So congratulations to the great team that you put together, and to Delbrook Construction that was so critical to building this development. Thanks to everybody who cares enough about affordable housing to take a stand and say, well, we want to do more of that. You know, that thing that we did over there on that block, let's do it over here. That thing that we did for the seniors in another part of the state, let's try and do that in Winthrop. That thing we did for families all across the state, let's do more of that wherever we go. And thanks especially to our elected officials who provide the soft money that helps allow projects like this to get off the ground. So to Speaker DeLeo and Senator Petrocelli, thank you so much for your leadership throughout the years, not just on this project, but all across the state. And hope, because for me, I think being in the public sector, we have an obligation to give back. And I think if we would all focus on taking a little bit better care of the generation that came before us and the generation that came after us, and that's it. That's all we have to focus on. And that if everybody did that, we'd be in a much better place. So for the work that you all are doing to take care of the seniors that are going to live here, the generation that came before us, and probably my generation, because I am fast moving in that direction. I want to thank all of you for your commitment to affordable housing. I'm delighted that we could be here and be part of this, at Mass Housing and the Affordable Housing Trust Fund could be involved, but I also get to speak today on behalf of the rest of the state who are also large public funders in this through the tax credit program and other soft debt. I think you're really going to love the team that Governor Baker is putting together to deal with housing and economic development with Jay Ash and Crystal Cornegay. I can't wait till you get to know them as I've gotten to know them over the years, because you're going to really enjoy working with them. So thank you for allowing us at Mass Housing to be part of your great event today and to be part of the housing that's built here at Feldman Seaside Apartments.
So before I introduce our next, our Town of Winthrop contingent, I just wanted to follow up on Tom's comments a little bit more about the financing. We do have representatives of all of the financing people, our financing team here today. And it was made up of Mass Housing, as well as Kate Racer from the Department of Housing and Community Development did stop by, but she had to leave before the ceremony started, but she says hello to everybody and congratulations. We also had home funds that came through the North Shore Home Consortium, and I see Noah Kretz in the back here from there. We also had private funders, and they are represented by First Sterling Bank, which is here, Bank New York Mellon, and then also Eastern Bank. And they provided the much needed equity as well as construction financing and permanent financing. So just because they aren't up here speaking does not mean that we love them any less or appreciate their money any less. So we thank them in their support of affordable housing. So many years ago, we started conversations with the Temple regarding the development of the property, and I'll come back to the Temple in a minute. But ever since our first meeting with the town about what to do with this site, they were immensely supportive. They were thrilled to see that the Temple was going to stay and remain vital, but they were also excited to see some other development happen. And so our next two speakers are from the Town of Winthrop. The first is Peter Gill. He's the Town Council president. He's acted as the president for just over 4 years now, and his family's from the community, which I think provides the town a lot of confidence, local confidence, but also he has great visions about what Winthrop can become. We appreciate Peter, the town manager, Jim McKenna, and his staff, the planning board, and the chair, Peter Roach, as well as all of the other departments for their help. So first I'd like to have Peter up.
Thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here this morning and this exciting event. I was asked when the Temple was first going to make this, produce this development, if I had any ulterior motives for my huge support of this. And yes, I do qualify. I am elderly. I meet the age requirements, but that was not my reason or my motivation to be supportive of this project. I watched the temple that we stand in now, and the piece that's been replaced. I watched it being built, and it seems like only a short time ago. As I watched the new high school, which is now has been demolished, I watched that being built, and I didn't graduate from it. I graduated before that. But on a more serious note, I need to appreciate all of the people who have been recognized, the senator, the speaker, the people from the temple, Sandy and her group who made all of this possible. But I also need to look at the people who I am more directly related to here in the community, between the town council, their tremendous support of the project when it was only in a conceptual stage. And when it moved to the planning board, Peter Roach and his group did a phenomenal job of working together to make this project the quality that it is. All of our local boards, including the Conservation Commission, Marsha Allen is here, and the Conservation Commission is not necessarily the easiest group to deal with. They have a reputation of being tough, but because they're tough is why we have the community and the quality of community, along with the planning board and their efforts that we have today. Our town manager, Jim McKenna, and our town council, with their support, have made this possible. The Feldman Seaside Apartments, Mr. Feldman, thank you very much for your dedication to the senior citizens of our community. The affirmative investment, of course. But a little bit behind the scenes and not necessarily recognized through this program that have monitored and worked with the community, with the neighbors, and with the contractor is Steve and Al, Steve Galla, of our Director of DPW. Al Levy, our building commissioner, our public safety officials, Terry Delahanty and Paul, and everybody that was involved in the monitoring and the making sure that everything that was done here was done correctly. As changes need to be made, Planning Board, Conservation Commission, Steve, Terry, Al, Jim McKenna, the council, it was just a phenomenal effort. My wife says she's getting tired of hearing the word team. I'm going to use it at least one more time. This was not an effort of one or two or three people of organizations. It was a tremendous effort, a tremendous team effort. I use the acronym for team of together, each achieves more. When we look around here today and look at this facility, the improvement to our community as a team effort, I'm very proud to be part of it. Thank you again for the opportunity to be here.
And our last speaker for today is Linda Kalash. She's a town council member and has been for almost 10 years. Again, since the beginning, Linda has been nothing but supportive, organizing and hosting many community meetings with the temple and neighbors and the larger town, and was at most, if not all, of our permitting meetings. So we really appreciate all that she's done behind the scenes and with upfront meetings to get the project where it is. Thank you, Linda.
Good morning, everyone. I am the counselor for Precinct 6, and this is Precinct 6. So first I want to really congratulate the Chelsea Jewish Foundation and the Affirmative Investments for the completion of this fabulous project. The Feldman Seaside Apartments are a wonderful addition to this neighborhood, and they provide much needed additional housing for our increasing senior population. It's a pleasure driving down Veterans Road and seeing this new building, which once was very neglected, parking lots with overgrown weeds and things coming out of it. I mean, it's really such an addition, a wonderful addition to our neighborhood. I just want to thank everyone. I think mostly everything's already been said, and thank you again to the Feldmans for your support. And there was just one thing. I know that we just congratulated our Senator Petroselli for his leadership, but we have here our Speaker of the House, Bob DeLeo, was just named Man of the Year by the Winthrop Sun Transcript, and I want to congratulate him as well. So thank you, everyone, and this is just a wonderful day. Thanks again.
Thanks. I did call her the last speaker, but I'm just going to say a little bit more, and then we can go see the building. There's two groups that I'd want to thank. One is And the temple really wanted this to be focused on the apartments today, but I did want to acknowledge them. This project took a huge amount of courage for them. For those of you that might not know, the temple was about twice the size of the building as it is now. And they decided for the strength of their organization long term that it made sense to reduce the size of the building, sell off basically the property to us to build apartments, which they were supportive of, but also as a way to continue in Winthrop. And so it was a tough project, I think, as many people who don't do development. I think there were bumps along the road. We hope they're happy. We're tremendously supportive for the courage that they had to do what they did. We thank Sandy, all the rest of the temple. We also thank them for having us here today. So if people could give them a round of applause. We'd be happy to. And then the last group that I'd like to mention, which sometimes gets forgotten in these, is the rest of the development team. So Delbrook was our contractor. We thank them a lot. We also have members of Davis Square Architects, our architecture team. I'm sure both of those groups would be happy to show you around the building that they designed and built. And we're just happy again for all those that have partaked. So we have some flowers for Gilda, Judy Feldman. Am I handing them out? No. For Judy Feldman, for Linda, and for Sandy. And then next we're going to have refreshments here. We're going to have ribbon cutting right out in the front, and then we have 2 units that people are welcome to go see. We'd encourage you to go see the building next door. So thank you for coming.